This is part 2, comparing the Bose S1 Pro to the Alto Busker. So in this test, I did something I call max dB testing or max volume. So, the specs you read from the companies, they test in a special room, treated room usually, and at 1 meter. My procedure is I test more real life in a home situation, in a living room, which is an open living room, high ceilings, 3 meters back. I use the same track, and that's how I get my reading. So let me tell you what I did. As far as the setting on the speaker, it was flat, no EQ at all. I maxed out the volume on my phone. That was at 100%. On channel 1, I'm talking about the Alto now. On the main channel, that was at maximum, and at the Bluetooth channel, that was at maximum. And as loud as I can get it, I could not get the speaker to clip. Clip means any indication where it's going to reach its maximum volume, where the company will set up some kind of protection, and I could not do that. I couldn't get to reach that level on the Alto. Little heads up for you headbangers out there who came to hear max sound between the two speakers, A-B. I'm not going to do that. You're just going to have to take my word for it. So if that's disappointing to you, you might want to exit the video at this point. So my reading was 99.8 dB. And surprisingly enough, I got the same reading for both speakers, the S1 Pro and the Alto. Again, at the same distance, same track. But the difference is on the Bose, if I pushed it any higher on the gain, it would clip on me. I would see indications of red. So I backed it down, and that's where I get my figure 99.8. Where on the other hand, I couldn't get the Alto near that level. So the only way you can push the speaker more, because like I mentioned, my source, my iPhone, iPad was at maximum also. The only way you can push it more to get the true headroom of the speaker would be to use some kind of mixer. So my conclusion is the Alto has more headroom. It has more room, and to make matters even better, when the Alto was played at 99.8 dB, it sounded really, really clean. I was surprised. I'm still surprised. On the other hand, the Bose at that volume starting to sound harsh, brittle. You kind of want to run and turn it down. Where I felt the Alto was still clean, and I felt like I could turn it up even more. And I wasn't using hearing protection. That's getting pretty loud, pushing 100 dB. So I'm very impressed with the Alto. I got a couple of CDs here just to show. The Who's Quadrophenia. If you've never heard it, it's a classic. Just to show you the size of the Alto. And there's the old size of an LP. Jethro Tull benefit from the early 70s. Again, the new generation, I hope they're going back and listening to these classics. But getting back to our comparison. So the next test will be a sound demo comparing the two speakers at a more reasonable volume. And that will tell us really the final information, which speaker I would choose. But in this round, I think we have a clear winner. So here's the equipment I used. It's not top-notch equipment. Using a kind of like a old Radio Shack sound meter they got on Amazon for $30. So no, this is not super accurate testing. If these numbers conflict with the factory says, but I'm considering this real world testing because this is, like I said, the same track I use for all the speakers I tested, and I have quite a few if you go back to my videos, so you can get a good comparison. This is the actual track that I've used. Unfortunately, I can't play it for you because of copyright issues. I don't want to get in trouble with not Amazon, but with YouTube. But this is a famous test disc, ultimate demonstration disc, Stravinsky. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's probably French. La Historia du Soldat, the Royal March. It's a very dynamic track, and it comes right from the beginning. It's very loud. So as a reference, how this particular speaker, the Alto Busker, compares to others I've tested in the past, something like a QSC CP8 was pushing 109.4, almost 110 dB. EV30M was at 102. Mackie Thumbgo was a little louder at 100.2, and the Bose S1 Pro and the Alto Busker tied at 99.8. And just again as a reference, when you have 3 dB more in volume, your ear perceives double the volume, but when you have 10 dB, it is actually double the volume as far as professional test equipment. So when you go from an Alto Busker to a CP8, there's your 10 dB difference. That's what makes the CP8 so incredible, in my opinion. At $500, it's twice as loud, or 3 times, or who knows how many times louder than an S1 Pro or Alto Busker. But that's a whole different story, because that is not a battery-operated speaker. So in this category, battery speakers, EV30 again is not battery-powered, so the Mackie Thumbgo is slightly louder. So wrapping up, in conclusion, I declare the Alto the winner by a hair as far as max sound dB testing, because it does have more potential to go louder. So if you're a DJ and obviously you're using a controller, you can push that gain, and then the Alto will outperform the S1 Pro. As I mentioned before, the S1 Pro at that dB level is already reaching its limits, audible limits that I can hear. It's getting harsh. With the Alto sounded perfectly clean, and it has more room. I'm not gonna go and test the Alto on a mixer, because that is not my application. My whole idea of portable PA is not bringing any kind of mixer. So that's for someone else to test. Another plus I mentioned in my previous video, you should go back and see that part 1, for the Alto, is it does have a mic and line switch. So when you flip it to mic, it really gives quite a bit more gain that I have been able to use compared to the S1 Pro for something like an electronic drum pad or a keyboard. That mic switch makes all the difference in the world, because I've been really struggling plugging in my drum pad directly into any of these portable PAs. And the Alto, again, is surprising me. It has that function, and it's giving me the extra volume I need. So I declare the Alto a winner in this section. It also won the last section. You need to go back and check it out as far as features. And I'm gonna call it a little stick of dynamite. Check out part 3. That should be coming in maybe 1 week or 2, where I'm gonna A/B them for sound quality, which might be the most important part of a speaker, in your opinion. In my opinion, features, max volume. We'll see if the sound quality is drastically different between the two. Okay, thank you. This is Bill.